Right. I'm going to tell you a story of why I left the band after 6, 7 years. Some of you might find it interesting because we're going to talk about music, music industry, purpose as a man, wasting your life, being unhappy in a situation, whatever. We'll see. I left the band like 5 months ago and I didn't announce it, didn't tell anyone because I wanted to move on with my life. And then recently I've been getting tagged in stuff and getting messages from people asking questions about certain things. So I'm going to set the record straight and give you my perspective. And some of you might find it interesting, you might be able to relate to it. I remember when I left my first band, I was in my mid-20s. I'd been in the band for 8 years, a band called Rain, and it was a pub band, and that was my dream. You know, when I was 18, I wanted to just play a pub and play Ozzy Osbourne and shit like that. Did that for 8 years, and I moved to Manchester to pursue a music career. And I left because I just didn't want to be doing it anymore. I wanted to write original music, blah, 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 blah. And I remember when I announced that I was leaving the band, it was like people were threatening to kill themselves. And it was like having 4 divorces with all the guys fell out, we all hated each other. It was a proper over-the-top emotional thing, because if you're a man, like being in a band or your purpose, it's like an extension of your identity, or it's a overcompensation for something else, but you're emotionally invested in the band. And it was a big, horrible thing. But I moved to Manchester, where I became involved in the Originals game, and I'd be getting up at 6 in the morning, shredding for 2 hours, go to work, shred for another 4 or 5 hours, write music all day, every day, driving up and down the country, going to record labels. All of my income was going towards making music or trying to get noticed, signed, whatever. And I was a very intense young man, and there was like a community of like 10, 15 shredders in Manchester at this time. And we're all in competition. We loved each other, but we're all in competition with each other, and we're all, looking back, we were like pushing each other. It's like, I've got to be better than that guy. This guy's doing 1 hour, I'm going to do 2 hours. This guy's doing 4, this guy's doing 8. And it was like this, like, men competing with other men. It was fucking awesome. And that was when I was like at my peak. And I turned my nose up at the tribute game. Thought it was gay. Thought it was lame. Didn't understand it. Didn't really care about it. Really just, turned my nose up at it. That was all about shred and original music. And then one day I saw an advert on Facebook, and these guys were looking for a Nuno for an extreme tribute band, right? And when you're sort of mid-20s and you're shredding and you're banging your head against a brick wall, because even if you get on the radio or TV, it really doesn't mean anything. You're not going to be able to pay your rent. It's tough. So I started thinking, oh, fuck it. Maybe I'll try and join this extreme tribute band and I'll get some extra income and maybe I'll to do music full time. So I go to this audition and it was fucking horrendous. I should have just left right then. It was the worst. It was just terrible. It was bad. And I'm not going to go into specifics, but it was bad. And then I left and thought, right, fuck that. But I turned up because it was extreme. I thought, well, extreme's my bag and I want money. So then I get a message from this guy, and he's like, "Oh, I'm in this Kiss tribute band, but basically I'm making a new Kiss tribute band, and it's all a bit vague, whatever." And I've already talking to this guy, and I just thought, "Oh, fuck it, it's a fucking laugh." And girlfriend's there going, "Oh yeah, it'll be some extra money." No. So I thought, "Fuck it, I'll do it." Right, worst mistake of my fucking life. So now I'm in this this Kiss tribute band. I'm not a Kiss fan. I'm into shred. I'm into music. I'm into like, I don't know, intense stuff. And right from the beginning, I come from the classical training, shredding, original music, competing with other men at that fucking highest level of like original shit. But right at the beginning with these guys, I was like smothered or like told to shut up. You're not a Kiss fan. Your opinion doesn't matter, whatever. And no one would listen to me. And it was like unusual for me because I was like known as like this virtuoso shredder. And all these guys were like, well, not all of them, but it was like this. I was just like a background guy in something else. And it was really weird. And we go do a couple of shows, whatever, and it was a laugh. Became good friends with the bass player. And that kind of kept me going for a bit. I'm trying to think where to go. But yeah, I wasn't listened to, and I wasn't like used, I guess, in the right way, and my opinion didn't matter, whatever. So we go through the shows, and really it was my friendship with the bass player that kept me going for so long. And some of the shows were great. Play in front of 10, 15,000 people. You're never going to do that as an originals guy. Well, you could do if you're better than me. But yeah, some of the shows were great. And the money was great. Got to the point where it was like $1,000 a month on top of my wages. And it was insane. But I just wasn't fucking happy. But I just put up with it and put up with it and put up with it. And then there was constant infighting, dramas, people slagging each other off, and there was like this weird. We were never connected. We were never like a group of guys. It was like there's this guy, and then the bass player and I. It was all like disjointed and weird, and I should have just fucked it off ages ago, but I didn't. I persevered, and really the beginning of the end for me was got free tickets to go watch Kiss. And it's in Manchester, at the Etihad, the Jihad Arena. And we go there, and I'm dressed up, girlfriend's dressed up, and we get to the arena, and there's some people going, oh, Alex 5000, da 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 da. And it was like this horrible, because I've been fucking years drinking myself to death and trying to disappear and whatever. And there's this horrible like realization, because I'm back in my old stomping ground, that I used to be this fucking guy, and now I'm not that fucking guy, or I'm a shadow of him, or whatever. There was this like realization that I wasn't reaching my full potential. And there was these people coming to me, oh yeah, you remember we used to come watch you, and this, that, and the other, da, 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 da. And it was like a reminder of my old life that I'd totally forgotten about and sold out to this new fucking band. Anyway, fuck that. We go in, we watch the show, and it was like a proper over-the-top sort of Vegas Cirque du Soleil, no expense spared show. Right from the beginning to the end, it was bang, 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 just fucking entertainment, and then fuck off, right? And I realised that night that what Kiss were doing and what my band were doing, and this is insane to say that I'm a shred lord and Kiss in the same sentence, but I realised that what Kiss were doing and what my band were doing were completely different in terms of like the vision or whatever, or the way it's sold. My band was just like for narcissists, like just guys competing for attention, whereas Kiss, it was like the show. It was like, fuck off, look at this, and everything. You're just being manipulated from the second you walk into that room until the end. It was all about entertainment. And my band was just 4 guys trying to get attention. So I came away like inspired, like a good gig, you know, come away inspired. I started investing money into the show. I thought, right, I'm not going to be ignored by these fucking guys anymore. I'm just going to fucking do stuff on my own. So I went home and I spent a week in Photoshop making these banners. As if you went to watch my old band. Well, there's a banner on each side of the stage with Kiss written on it, like, I don't know, 6 foot by 3 foot, each side of the stage. And behind that, I created a wall of Marshalls, right? These walls of Marshall stacks. And it's been fucking. I remember the final file was like 20 gig. Took them to an acoustic printer, so they print stuff on acoustic cloth or cloth where it's designed so sound can travel through, whatever. Cost a lot of money. Bought all the stands, and now I turn up to the next gig, and we've got 2 walls of Marshalls on the stage and 2 Kiss banners, and it was like overnight it changed the way the show looked. And I've got 5% battery. As soon as people were coming in the show, they were like taking pictures and they were blown away, and I thought, right, I'm fucking onto something. I'm going to ignore these fucking twats, and I'm going to drag the show up, whether they fucking like it or not. So then I went home, and I spent hundreds of pounds on wood and bulbs and wires and hours of my time learning how to put it all together, and I made a Kiss lit logo out of bulbs, and it flashed and did all that shit. I made the balloons. We got these giant spherical balloons with Kiss on the side, and they look shit. But I've got better versions now, but at the time they looked bad, but it was still something. So now I've got my walls of Marshalls, I've got my Kiss banners, I've got the Kiss lit logo, I've got these giant balls, and we went and did a gig in Blackpool, and everything's popping off, and right towards the end of the show, get the girlfriend and a mate to chuck these balls out into the crowd, and the crowd, just for fucking 20 seconds, that atmosphere, that magical bullshit that the Kiss show was in our room, and it was about the crowd having a good time and enjoying themselves, and not about four fucking talentless twats. It was about having a laugh, and it changed everything. And I realised that it was becoming clear that maybe it was time to move on. So what happened then? Bass player fucking can't do a show or something like that. So I learned the entire show on the bass, because usually I'm Ace now, so now I'm going to be Gene. And then we go to the show, and I've made a tank, right? So now I've got the Kiss banners, the Walls of Marshalls, the lit logo. I've got fucking rockets coming out the guitar, smoking guitar, and now I've learned the whole show is Gene. And and I've built a tank. And we get to this show. It was in Morecambe, and I start getting the tank out or whatever. And there was some comment of like, "Oh, I don't want my kick drum covered," or someone said, "Oh, it wasn't quite good enough," or some shit like that. And I just thought, this is a waste of my fucking time. It was like that. Done. Mentally, I was just fucking done. I was like, this is a complete waste of my time. And it was time to move on. I was just mentally just completely fucking done. Because I've spent like thousands of pounds trying to bring the show up, and they were happy just doing the fucking, like, just objectively, the song sounded bad. Every instrument sounded bad. No one ever practiced. The show looked like shit. It was fucking boring. It was cringy. It was like divisive. There was like politics being dragged into it and jarring, show-stopping moments. And I was just fucking done. So what happened was, weirdly enough, the singer started trying to oust the bass player out of the band and get me in to take his place, which is this has been going on for years with different people. They tried to kick me out several times. And I started thinking, you know what, I'm going to go make my own band. So I put some feelers out to people, different drummer, different fucking guitar player, and I made a new fucking band, right? Well, I didn't. Well, I was trying to make a new band to escape my band. So I went and bought the fucking Gene costume online. About $4 or $5 grand it cost me. Get this fucking Gene costume. It's over there. I'll make another video about it. And yeah, so eventually I was done. I was planning on leaving, and even though I don't like Kiss, I feel like the audience, there's absolutely room for some guys to come in and wipe the fucking floor with all the bands, because there's just no like, there's no talent, there's no like, the songs just sound bad, there's no like thought gone into like people enjoying themselves or the show and all this. Someone's gonna walk in and wipe the floor with everyone. And I think there's a time limit on this because of the customers are all dying of old age. But yeah, so where the fuck was I going? So right, so one day we're getting up to like this big festival at the end of the year, and fucking Dewey, and come here, come. And the singer starts whining at me, right? Bearing in mind, I'm mentally exhausted. I'm done with the band. Realised I'm completely suffocated. The singer's whining at me, going, "Oh, your costume looks this and it looks that." And I'm thinking, fucking hell, I'm keeping this shit together. It's been a waste of like 7 years of my life hanging around with you fuckers. And he's whining at me about this fucking getting a new Ace Frehley costume. And I've just spent over the year like $7 grand on the fucking show, including my Gene costume. And that was it. I was like, right, fuck off. I'm done. And that was that. And what happened was, I didn't even tell anyone I'd left the band. Do you want me to play with him? Come here. That day, I didn't tell anyone. This is the first time I'm telling anyone that I left that band. I had an offer from Megadeth UK to join them. Obviously, that's gone very well, and I'm in Megadeth UK now. I had an offer for a Motley Crue band, which I would have done it, but it was, I don't know, it's too difficult talking to that guy. And yeah, and then people were like coming out the woodwork going, "What the fuck were you doing with that band? You never should have been wasting your time with them, all this shit." And I wasted 7 years of my fucking life just to get a bit of extra money. And that's why I left, for the reasons that were there in the beginning. I was like smothered and ignored, and I had a lot to offer, and I was completely ignored. So that's that. So that's why I left the band. And it was the best decision I ever made. my new band, Megadeth UK. We just got signed to a touring agency. There's more to that which I can't reveal yet because there's a big name involved. That sounds cheesy, doesn't it? That sounds like bullshit. And yeah, we're going to fucking Cyprus, we're going to Ireland, maybe across Europe later in the year. And yeah, I wish I'd fucking left. I wish I'd never joined. So don't make the mistake I did. If you've got something that's shit in your life, you don't enjoy it, just leave. If you're not valued where you are, just fucking leave. Yeah, that's it. Just a night and day, you know. But my first audition for Megadeth UK, turn up. They're all completely insane. They're all best mates. And on the first day, it was like, "Oh, what Megadeth songs do you like?" And I was like, "Oh, I like this, 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 and this." And they said, "Right, all of them are going to be in the set then." It was that was it. It was like in fucking 10 seconds of meeting these guys, I had more pull and more fun than in 8 years with these other fucktards. And but yeah, I was unhappy. I was smothered, and I had a lot to offer, and I was ignored. So that's why I left. And there's all sorts of accusations going on about people stealing money and weird shit with that band that shall not be named. And I think they're probably true, but I don't know, and I don't really care. And I realised once I'd left that toxic band that the general consensus sort of on that scene is shit. And that's it. That's why I left the band. And come watch my new band, Megadeth UK. We're fucking amazing. There's 4 virtuosos in the band. You know, they're amazing. Really, really good. Even if you just want to see some shred, the other guy can shred. And I can break bread. See you later.